What's up, guys? So just a quick video here. The latest repair. This is a original DMG Gameboy. This is my girlfriend's childhood unit. She brought back with her from a trip because I asked her when I found out she had one lying in a drawer somewhere. Unfortunately, as I had guessed, there was batteries left inside in here at some point, so it was very heavily corroded on the inside. I tried to clean it up as much as I could. Now you can buy replacement these battery terminals. Unfortunately, all the ones I've seen are these like cheap Chinese knockoffs, which are much worse than the original ones. They don't really fit in there right. They're not of the right shape. Maybe they're made for a later Game Boy revision, and they're just they sell them for all the different times. They're not appropriate for the DMGs, is what I'm trying to say. So that's no good. So instead, I had to just keep the old ones and try and clean them as best as possible. She had originally one of these, knockoff cartridges with a bunch of games on it, and the unit itself was quite yellowed, and the lens had fallen off, was held back with some tape, which left a lot of residue, and the logo here is kind of like destroyed. So what I did is I tried to retrobrite the shell. Moderate success, I would say. It's still kind of yellowed, but it's better now. I'm not gonna do more with that. I think I'm kind of satisfied. I bought some glue for the lens to glue it back on. What else did I do? Yeah, just generally just clean it up inside. And then I was hoping for it to just work perfectly, but there was two things wrong. First of all, there was no audio out of the speakers, but if you put in the headphone jack, it would work fine. So I read somewhere that there's like a contact in here that when you put the when you put the headphone jack inside, it breaks the circuit that usually is completed, and when that is if that completed circuit, like the two things, the two pins that go together, are like corroded because of battery juice or whatever, it can cause this symptom. Now that turned out not to be the case. I found out the speaker is broken. Basically, the connection that is supposed to go from this board into the inside of the of this is just broken. I think the battery acid just ate it away, and I see no way of fixing it. So I just ordered a new speaker one. These are also AliExpress ones, but I think the quality of these is actually okay. But there was something else much more sinister wrong with this, in that it wouldn't turn on like reliably. I would have to like turn it back on and off many times, and then it would come on sometimes, and I could go into a game, but as soon as I tried to play, it would just reset itself and then it would turn off. And that kind of like smelled to me like something was wrong with the power supply here. So unfortunately, there is no easy replacement for these. You can get replacement power supplies, which are kind of like pricey, but those are designed for the IPS screen replacement. I want to keep the original screen here, the green one. Oh yeah, another thing that was wrong with this was there was screen burn. The polarizer had I think it's the glue or something that starts to like unravel, and then you get a kind of a black spot in the middle where you can't see anything. Anyway, so in that case, you have to get a new polarizer, and you have to get the old one off and hope that you don't break the screen. It was kind of it was a hairy affair, but I managed to get it done. And like when you put the polarizer back, like you can put it in many orientation and the colors change, and like I couldn't find any answers regarding to like what is this even supposed to look like? What is the like, did Nintendo put them all in the same orientation and they had some way to figure it out, or are there variation in the like slight hues and colors of these Game Boys? I don't know. So I just tried to find some images of an original DMG, a very close up one, and I tried to match it as best as possible. And I had to do that while like the power supply was very flaky as well. So that wasn't really easy. Now, so I started to try and diagnose this power supply because I mean there is no modern replacement for this that works for the old screen, and you can't. I mean, I didn't see anyone selling like there's like a fully working one anywhere. So basically, I have to fix this if I want to use this again. So while I was fiddling around with it and reflowing stuff and measuring voltages, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I tried to look at the schematics. This is like, it's not a simple device. It's got a few voltage regulators that kind of like work in tandem. It's supposed to take like the input voltage, which is like I think a little bit above 6 volts, and then drop it down to exactly 6 or something to that effect, or maybe it's above 5 and drop it down to exactly 5. But something on this thing was not working as it was supposed to. So while poking around, I managed to crack one of the voltage regulators. And I'm not sure if I did that or like it had been like corroded by the battery juice, and maybe that's the case. And so I also bought some replacement for some other ones in case those are broken. So my grand plan is I'm just going to replace all of the voltage regulators on this thing and hope that's going to fix it. Because if that does not fix it, I'm kind of like out of ideas. I took all the capacitors out and I measured it with a component tester, and they seem to be fine. I also took some of the voltage regulators out. They're very tiny, but I have this component tester, and I tested those with that as well. They seem to be fine as well, so those are not the issue. So it might very well be this. Yeah, while I was taking this out to test it, it kind of like one side of it broke. So hopefully that is the case. I'm going to replace that, and let's see if it fixes it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and replaced the components that I ordered. Unfortunately, the problem persists. As you can see, the light comes on, but doesn't really turn on. Now, if I fiddle around with the batteries inside, sometimes you get life, but it's the same thing. As soon as you go into a game, it will just reset. Now, I'm not sure if the problem is actually the unit itself, or it's the fact that I'm using these rechargeable batteries. Now, the problem with these rechargeable batteries is that in the old days, batteries, AA batteries, which this takes, would be of, I think, 1.5 volts. But for whatever reason, all rechargeable batteries are 1.2 volts, which means that the unit here is receiving a lot less voltage than it usually would. Now, whether that is within spec or not, I'm not sure. Maybe the voltage regulator on this thing is just being starved, and it doesn't get enough voltage from the batteries to start. It might also be the corrosion on the battery terminals are, I don't know, maybe they're adding some sort of resistance, and that's also has a factor to play. The audio did come back when I replaced the thing, but it's very low. So I don't know about that. I do have a USB cable that I bought that you can use here, as you can see. Now, when I hook that up, something different happens. I get a very high-pitched noise coming out of the speakers, and the game just doesn't turn on. This is not what used to happen before. What happened before was with this, it would turn on, but it would behave basically the same as with the batteries. Like after a while, it would just kind of turn itself off, or like you get a line here and the screen would just go away and there would be no more audio, as if it like crashed or something. Anyway, I'm kind of like fed up with this. I did only replace these voltage regulators. I do also have Are these all the same? They are. Yeah. No, I also got a bunch of these. This is the other voltage regulator that is in there. It has two. I think one is used to make the voltage for the screen, which requires minus something very high. It's very strange. And that's the reason why the modern voltage regulators will not work on an old DMG, is because I think those do not provide that negative voltage that this screen needs to turn on. Now, now that I think about it, since the other ones, the only thing they do is provide power to the screen, and it seems to be the actual logic that is something wrong with, maybe I should just try and replace all these ones, because I'm fairly certain that these are responsible for like providing the 5 volts that the all the chips and logic, the processing and stuff actually draws its power from. Will it work? I'm kind of like inclined to think no. Yeah, every once in a while you have one of these projects where like you just keep going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole, and it just nothing works, and you end up actually in the end actually making things worse. This has the feeling of one of those projects. I did have a few ones. The screen is fine now. The speaker is replaced, so that's okay. It looks all right. And to be honest, you know, I don't really, I mean, I only want this because I want an original DMG, but I will never actually play on it because I have a analog pocket, which I do all my handheld gaming on. This is my, this is my, when I go on a trip or if I play a Game Boy, you see I have an EverDrive here. So yeah, this is my go-to unit for playing, and actually probably the analog device that I have used the most to play actual games on. The other ones are mostly just, I don't know, curiosities for posterity. This one I actually use a lot. I just finished Donkey Kong 94 on it, and Game Boy games just look fantastic on this one. The job, the screen here and analogs like filters, because I don't play the chunky pixel mode. I like to use the mode where it actually tries to look like an DMG screen, but nice. You know, the way you remember it being as a kid you played it. But of course today, if you want to actually play on an old-fashioned DMG, it's unbearable. It's the screen is just so horrendous, unfortunately. But I just wanted to have a actually functioning original one, because I don't have my childhood unit. Someone stole it. So I don't have that anymore. So this would be my, I had the original gray one, but this like see-through one is actually pretty cool. I'll be honest. It is a very nice one. But you know, for practicality, I think the Pocket is actually a much nicer unit. It's slimmer. It only takes 2 AA's. Anyway, that's enough rambling. I'm gonna give up on this thing. Unless there is more after this, in which case I managed to fix it by replacing this. If the video ends now, then that's it. I'm just gonna give up. Yep. You know, I couldn't leave it well enough alone. So I'm back, and it's been a few weeks. I went on AliExpress and I decided to order the last component that logically it could possibly be, if the problem is here on the voltage board here, the voltage regulator board. So the thing about this is there's 3 different kind of critical components that are active components, not passive, like diodes or resistors or capacitors. There's this one, which is the main big voltage regulator. I think this is the one that produces the 5 volts. Then there is these 3 down here. I'm not exactly sure what they do, but they're there. And then there's this one, which according to some schematics I found online is some sort of a sensing circuit. So maybe the idea I get is that this voltage regulator board here on the Game Boy is actually quite complex. because it receives a certain kind of voltage and it needs to sense what that is, and then through some sort of a feedback, it makes sure that it's putting out the correct voltage based on the input. And this seems to be a crucial component of that. So I went online. I don't know why I didn't get it the first time. I think maybe I couldn't find it, or I didn't think AliExpress had it. But unless I made a mistake, they do have it. So I need to actually confirm from the schematics I found that this is actually the one that is supposed to replace the lone one that I haven't replaced, and replace it and see what happens. Now the thing about the AliExpress replacements I've gotten, I'm pretty sure that they are of a lower quality than the ones that were on this, which I'm fairly certain were made in Japan, parts from the from the 90s. And yeah, those are just very higher quality than these made in China later replacements. How that will affect this, I don't know. Maybe there will be more noise. Probably will be reflected in the audio if that is the case. Other than that, I mean, it doesn't really work right now, so how much worse can it get? Yeah, so I'm gonna replace that thing and be back. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, even though it looks like it's working, it actually isn't. This is what used to happen before. So if I go down to Tetris on this little multi-card thing here, yeah, you see it kind of like turns off and resets itself. Yeah, this just also the audio is still like super weak. Barely any audio coming out of this, even though I replaced the speaker with a new one, so there's something going on there as well. Yeah, Tetris is just yeah, you can enter the game Tetris here, and I think I've never actually made it in the game beyond like a few seconds. Then it just resets itself. The start button is not working. Okay, no, okay, see, now it turns itself off. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. Is it still the voltage regulator? Is there something else? Maybe the processor or something? I don't know. The thing about this revision of the Game Boy is that the chips on it are these glob top versions. So I think that was the later revisions of the Game Boy. The previous ones had the chips actually. They were on there, so you could solder them off and put them on some other board, some sort of a other project or whatever. But the glob tops, really, they're useless. There's nothing you can do with those. So yeah, I guess this one's fate is sealed to just be a I don't know, just a shelf piece or something. Not really something you can actually play games on. Unfortunate, but that's how shit goes sometimes.